Welcome everybody. My name is Nairy McMahon. I am the Director of CRR UK, which is the company that provides the Organizational Relationship Systems Coach Training Program here in the UK, in Denmark, in Sweden and in Norway. And I am so thrilled to be here to have a conversation with a colleague and a friend that I would call a friend, thanks to ORSC, Agnieszka. I think I'll hand it over to you and we'll just have a conversation.
So my name is Agnieszka Surowicz and I'm the HR business lead working for one of the pharmaceutical companies and supporting the commercial group. And I was certified in ORSC. You need to help me, Neri, but I think it was in 2020. And obviously I did the ORSC series before and I also assisted. So I think I've got a really rich experience with ORSC training on multiple levels.
And Agnieszka, would you tell us the story as to what led you to ORSC?
A couple of reasons. I think that I was looking for some personal development and I remember I've done the executive coaching training and lots of different courses. And at some stage, I realized that impacting individuals through coaching is not enough. That if we don't look systematically, if we don't look at the whole system, that individual impact is not sufficient. I spoke to my colleagues who have done different coaching courses, and several of them pointed me towards ORSC. So that's how I found you.
Wonderful for us. And you are right. The main point that we want to really highlight is that we can only learn about ourselves as leaders, as head of HR, as parents, as friends, when we are in relationship with others. That's when we start seeing our own beauty, our own capacity, but also the boundaries that we've created for ourselves.
Yeah. No, I was really inspired. I think I did ORSC at work first. Almost immediately decided that I wanted to do the full course. And I remember very early on, I took a couple of tools and started experimenting with them. And I remember I had, a quite challenging leadership team and I was working with at that time. And I tried bravely. I tried toxins, then, and it made such a big impact. And I was very encouraged. If I can do, a session, being a beginner in ORSC on such a, challenging topic, then I was really looking forward to expanding my range of different tools and also awareness what else can be done.
The things that I've always appreciated about you is, you're a coach and you're an HR partner. And so you've blended those two things together. It's not like you have two separate careers. One informs the other. How does one inform the other for you?
At that time, when I started ORSC, I was working as the group coach on accelerating difference. So the program, which was developed by our company to help women grow and help women succeed in their careers. And I immediately could apply, very early on from the beginning of the program, I could apply some of the learnings in that group coaching program. So feel more comfortable working with my co-facilitator, but also very confident about working with the group, which was pretty international. And I found those tools that they can be translated through multiple cultures and they land really well. There's a completely different. So I started from the micro impact, but also there's a systemic cultural impact, which I found fascinating. So each time when I approached a big change, transformation, I look at it through the ORSC lens and actually, trying to understand what the system needs through this transformation and what needs to be done. And I find that's a completely different level of impact.
And it sounds like it had a personal impact in your role at work. Did it have a personal impact for you in your private relationship?
Absolutely. I mean, you can't unwind, the ORSC mindset. You're wired in a way by ORSC, and then you start noticing things, that are working well in your personal relationships and are not working well. So I think I noticed things about my relationship within my family, with my sister and my mom, and I learned to bring some of the ORSC tools to actually make those relationships more meaningful. Also with my partner, I mean, you can't not notice ORSC in your private relationship, in your with your loved ones. So that was really really helpful as well.
Practicing at home, those skills just gives you what do you call it, like the mastery you need when you're at work, when you
Absolutely.
don't have that permission to sometimes not do things very well. I mean, I really want to go back to what you said about the ORSC coaching tools being neutral, that they're not coming in with any form of bias or a preference. That's why it's applicable in any setting with any I don't know, group, with any type of group, any relationship.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And I
Yeah.
was really really surprised how well they worked in the obviously in the couple coaching, right? How well they work on the one-to-one basis when I'm coaching leaders. I'm using some of their ORSC tools on one-to-one basis, um, and how well they work in a group coaching setting, which we were delivering, and also team coaching. So there's so many applications, and those tools are universal. You don't have to think about any adaptation for any particular group. Yes, there's some adaptation which is needed when you do some, you know, personal coaching and working with couples, and obviously the organizational system, but they are very very, I would say, universal, and that's the beauty of ORSC as well.
And did you have one module that you absolutely loved? Because I mean, there are 5 modules, as you said. There's the introductory course.
I loved geography, and I loved path. I was struggling a little bit in intelligence, and I totally understand why. I think you're naming intelligence as the operating system for ORSC, right? So you're almost like getting into the tune of being with ORSC, but it was struggling, but in a good way, that I needed to really really um, feel and rely on and really like not wrestle with the material, just fly with the material. And it was really really good. I think I appreciated intelligence when I was doing my assisting, and I could sit again and almost like from the distance, right? And I could really observe, and that had such a great big meaning to me. But no, I pretty much enjoyed all the modules, and I remember even from ORSC at work, how many tools I've learned and how useful it was and how much awareness I gained.
I love that. And you are right. Intelligence, we are actually kind of challenging the coach inside of you or the leader inside of you to expand your idea of what you can and
Range,
can't
right?
do.
In terms
Because,
range, yeah.
we completely take away the way we question. I mean, we reteach everybody how to do question, blank access questions. A miracle. Once you know how to ask a question which has no, where you're not directing anyone, and especially in a team setting, it's different on an individual setting, but in a team setting, it just gives you such an access point. And also to learn signals. Relationships communicate, not just verbally. How do you normalize that, be with it? Not only that, invite unfolding, expanding what people are actually trying to tell you, but are unable to use words to do it. It is fascinating, and obviously that's the one that I teach. That's why I have a bias towards it.
There's so many things, there's so many lenses that you can look at the team because of the ORSC awareness, that sometimes, I need to really, pause and reflect and take some, reflection notes, because there's so many things, so many factors